Look, I've got nothing against fish. Tetris Splash, though, rubbed me the wrong way. All it offered was standard old 1980s vanilla Tetris. And while there's a place for standard old 1980s vanilla Tetris, I've come to expect more. Especially when the bar had already been raised by 2001's Tetris Worlds, an example of lackluster presentation not being able to negate an interesting series of twists on the old puzzle standard. In each mode, the typical goal is to get through 15 levels, or 2 minutes, of escalating block droppery, with each plateau requiring a certain number of lines to clear. The standard mechanics don't change. Tetrominos fall from the top of the screen, you arrange them into lines, completed lines disappear. If the stack gets to the top, you're screwed. You know this, it's the same comfortable gameplay you grew up with. Worlds, though, twist some of these rules into new and interesting forms, starting with the cascade mechanic. We're all familiar with the holes that can form in a well-made stack, and that can be a big pain to dig into and eliminate. Cascade alters the physics of Tetris just a hair, such that any given block is only cohesive to itself. If one bit of block shrapnel is left unsupported, gravity will take its course and it'll come to rest on whatever's under it. And if this creates a new line, so much the better. Some may think it makes the whole experience easier. Well, that all depends on the construction of the stack. One wrong shift and you could end up with even more holes. Building on this cascade mechanic is sticky Tetris, in which each color of blocks is actively adhesive to its own kind. While each tetromino might be in a couple different pieces, and you might be using this fact to your advantage, be warned that failure to consider where the new block is going can result in some huge, unwieldy, and just outright dangerous figures. A derivative of these cascade rules is Fusion Tetris, which mixes singleton atom blocks with your usual lineup. The goal is to get a number of these atom blocks to connect to the one that starts on the field. Fortunately, these atoms are indestructible and can produce some of the game's most impressive cascade effects as they slog their way through line after line to get to the bottom. Watch out, though, for stuff stacked on top of atoms, as it'll all stay there once the line is cleared, creating even more problems. If you've always wanted to play like a risk-taking idiot, Hotline Tetris is for you. Sure, you could stay on the ground and play Tetris like a good little kid, but the danger is up top, and danger is cool. That kid with the sunglasses told me so. Each one of those white lines across the screen is a multiplier, with the effect more pronounced the higher you go. Do you take the ultimate risk, or do you hang back and play more conservatively? It's your Tetris, do what you want. But don't play square Tetris. The most frustrating of the game's 6 versions, it offers bonuses for assembling 4x4 squares of one type of block. So not only do you have to get lucky and find 4 like blocks in a short space of time, but then you have to have the space in which to construct such a thing. No thanks, Captain. Squares aside, it's a spate of new and interesting ways to think about Tetris. This GBA version led a procession of like copies onto the Cube, PS2, Xbox, and PC. And all of these made significant improvements to the original's rather rough sound and graphics. But I've long believed that the best Tetris is a portable Tetris. Regardless of the form, you owe it to yourself to enjoy at least one flavor of Tetris World.